Listening test instructions. The listening test is about 50 minutes. There are 6 parts in listening test. You will have about 6 minutes to listen to each passage and answer the questions. The passage will be played once.
Hey, you look concerned. What's on your mind?
The final exam. I'm not fully prepared yet.
Well, don't worry too much. You still have 3 days.
Yeah, but 3 days will fly past in a wink.
Well, you still have time to cram things in your brain anyway.
Question 1. Why is the man looked worried?
You will hear a conversation in 3 sections. You will hear each section only once. After each section, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. You will hear the questions only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Good morning, sir. I hope I'm not disturbing you, but I wanted to raise an issue that has been troubling our neighborhood for the past few weeks. The water supply in our area is being interrupted almost every other day. Sometimes we don't get water for several hours, and on certain mornings, it doesn't come at all.
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you for bringing this up. Could you tell me more about the timings of these interruptions? Is it during peak hours, or does it happen randomly throughout the day?
Mostly during the mornings, around 6 to 9, when families are preparing for work and school. Sometimes it also happens in the evenings, which makes cooking and other household chores very difficult.
I understand. That must be very inconvenient. Have you noticed if this issue is affecting only your street or the entire neighborhood?
From what I've discussed with neighbors, it's happening across the entire block. Everyone seems equally affected, and we've been depending on stored water for basic needs.
Why does the officer ask about the timing of interruptions? The recurring morning and evening interruptions most likely indicate how does the officer's response reflect his approach?
You will hear the second section of the conversation shortly.
Thank you for the details. The city has been carrying out some pipeline repair work in nearby sectors. Sometimes, when we divert supply for maintenance, neighborhoods like yours experience temporary interruptions. Did you receive any official notice from the council regarding this?
No, that's one of the main concerns. If we had been informed in advance, we could have at least prepared by storing enough water. but suddenly waking up to empty taps has been extremely stressful, especially for families with young children or elderly members.
That's certainly not how it should be. Normally, residents receive updates via text messages or community notice boards. It seems there might have been a communication gap in this case. I'll need to check why your area didn't receive proper alerts.
I see. Also, some of us are worried whether the interruptions are due to water shortage in the city itself. Is there any such problem?
At present, the supply is sufficient. It's mostly related to maintenance work and a few technical issues with the pumping station that serves your locality.
The resident's main complaint reflects
Why does the resident mention families with children and elderly? The phrase extremely stressful primarily conveys
You will hear the third section of the conversation shortly.
I'm glad to hear it's not a shortage issue, but is there something you can do to ensure smoother supply until the repair work is over? People are feeling very helpless.
Absolutely. First, I'll file a request with the operations team to schedule water distribution at alternative hours whenever there is a planned cut. Second, I'll make sure residents of your neighborhood are added to the notification system, so you'll receive alerts at least 24 hours in advance.
That would really help. Could the council also consider placing water tankers in the area during long outages? Sometimes the interruptions last almost a full day.
Yes, if outages are extended, tankers can definitely be arranged. I'll mention this in my report. Please also encourage residents to officially register complaints, as a higher number of reports helps us push for faster action.
Thank you so much. I'll inform my neighbors. We just want reliable communication and some backup support.
What attitude does the resident display in suggesting alternative measures like tankers? Which subtle message about trust and responsibility is conveyed by the officer's replies?
You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hey, got a minute? We really need to plan Mom and Dad's anniversary.
Oh, yes, it's only 3 weeks away. I can't believe how quickly it's coming up.
Dad mentioned he'd be fine with just a dinner, but I feel we should make it a little more special. Maybe a surprise party?
A surprise sounds great, but he usually figures things out fast. How about a small gathering, family and a few close friends? Something warm but not over the top.
That works. Our house is too small, though.
I checked. The community hall near the park is free that Saturday evening. It's perfect. Space for food, speeches, and decorations.
Great! I'll handle decorations, fairy lights, a photo wall, and a banner. You can take care of food and invitations.
Sure, we can send printed invites to relatives and digital ones to friends. For food, Mom loves traditional dishes, so maybe roasted chicken, pasta, and some finger snacks. And of course, a nice cake.
A big vanilla cake with fruit topping. Don't forget, Aunt Martha needs gluten-free.
Right, I'll order a smaller one for her. What's our budget?
Around $400 to $500. I'll split it with you.
Perfect. Now, what about a gift?
A joint gift makes sense. How about a custom photo album with old pictures and messages from family?
Lovely idea. We could also add a framed caricature of them.
Nice. For entertainment, let's prepare a playlist of their favorite songs and a short video montage.
Do we still have their wedding tapes?
I'll check the attic this weekend and digitize them.
Good. For speeches, maybe Uncle Robert, Cousin Emily, you, and me. Short and sweet.
Agreed. I'll also make a fun quiz about Mom and Dad. Just light-hearted questions with small prizes.
Sounds fun. Logistics then. You pick up the cake, I'll set up decorations. I'll also distract Mom and Dad, maybe take them out for coffee?
Good plan. I'll ask Rachel to handle photos. She's great at candid shots.
Dress code?
Smart casual, but colorful.
Perfect. This will be such a special evening.
Team sibling mission. Let's make it unforgettable.
Fiona's comment about her father implies that
This choice of invitations suggests that the mention of Mom's food preferences implies Michael and Fiona's handling of Aunt Martha's cake suggests
Michael's action regarding old tapes indicates
You will hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Good morning, Mrs. Anderson. My name is Rachel Miller, and I'm a nurse at the evacuation center. How are you feeling today?
Morning, Nurse Miller. I'm all right, but still very anxious. The wildfire spread so quickly, and we had to leave most of our belongings behind.
I can imagine that must have been frightening. Let's go through things carefully. Do you or anyone in your family have medical conditions I should be aware of?
Yes, my husband, David Anderson, has diabetes, and I have a history of heart problems. I take metoprolol every morning.
Thank you for telling me. Do you have his insulin with you, or did it get left behind during the evacuation?
We were able to bring it, thankfully, but I'm worried about the stress affecting both of us.
That's understandable. We have masks and a clean air area here to minimize smoke exposure. I'll monitor both your blood pressure and David's sugar levels while you're here.
That's good to know. I'm also concerned about my elderly mother, Margaret Collins. She stayed behind to help a neighbor and hasn't contacted us yet.
I understand your concern. Our first priority is your safety here, but I can direct you to the information desk. They are coordinating with local authorities and can help you check on your mother's status.
Thank you. I can't stop worrying about what we lost. Our home, our pets.
That's completely normal, Mrs. Anderson. Many people experience the same feelings after a sudden disaster. We also have a counselor, Michael Roberts, available here if you want to talk about stress and coping strategies.
I think that would help. The kids, Lily and Ethan, are very scared as well.
We can support them too. There's a children's activity room here to keep them calm and engaged. Meanwhile, I'll check both of you for signs of smoke inhalation or dehydration. Can I start by taking your vitals?
Yes, please, Nurse Miller.
Great. We'll take care of you step by step. You're safe here now.
How does Mrs. Anderson likely perceive her own role in the evacuation? Why might the nurse prioritize checking vitals first? What is the implied purpose of the clean air area? How does Mrs. Anderson view the evacuation experience? What does the conversation suggest about the role of the evacuation center?
How does the conversation imply the family's long-term worries?
You will hear a news item once. It is about 1.5 minutes long. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best way to complete each statement from the drop-down menu.
A team of doctors at City General Hospital made medical history yesterday by performing a groundbreaking surgery that has the potential to change the future of patient care. The procedure, which lasted over 8 hours, involved a complex organ transplant using advanced robotic technology. According to Dr. Sarah Thompson, the lead surgeon, the operation was conducted on a 45-year-old patient suffering from multiple organ failure. This type of surgery has never been attempted in our country before. The success of this procedure demonstrates not only the skill of our team, but also the incredible advances in medical technology, she said. The surgery utilized a combination of traditional techniques and robotic assistance, allowing surgeons to operate with unprecedented precision. The hospital reported that the patient is recovering well and is expected to be discharged within the next few weeks. This operation has drawn attention from medical experts worldwide who have praised the hospital for taking such a bold step. Officials from the Ministry of Health also visited the hospital to commend the team and to emphasize the importance of investing in medical research and training. Innovations like these save lives and pave the way for future breakthroughs. We encourage more hospitals to adopt cutting-edge technology in patient care, stated a ministry spokesperson. Experts say this procedure could open new doors for treating patients with conditions previously considered untreatable. Medical students and professionals from across the country have expressed interest in observing similar procedures to enhance their skills. City General Hospital plans to document the surgery in detail to share with the global medical community. For now, the successful operation stands as a testament to the dedication, expertise, and teamwork of medical professionals committed to pushing the boundaries of modern medicine.
You will listen to a 2 minutes video. Then 8 questions appear. Choose the best way to answer each question.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Voices for Change. I'm your host, Sarah Mitchell. Today, we're discussing racial justice in the wake of recent high-profile protests across the country. Joining me are Dr. Michael Thompson, a sociologist specializing in race and inequality, and Jasmine Lee, a community activist and writer. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad to be part of this important conversation.
Thank you, Sarah. It's crucial that we address these issues openly.
Michael, let's start with you. How do you interpret the scale of these recent protests?
Well, Sarah, these protests reflect deep-rooted frustrations. They're not just reactions to isolated incidents, but a response to systemic inequalities. People are demanding accountability in law enforcement, justice in legal systems, and broader societal change. The widespread participation shows that racial justice resonates with many communities, not just those directly affected.
Jasmine, from your perspective on the ground, what changes do you think are necessary beyond protest?
The protests are a starting point, Sarah. We need structural reforms. That includes police reform, fairer access to education and employment, and policies that address wealth gaps. Importantly, it's also about changing attitudes. People need to confront unconscious bias and historical prejudice. Grassroots initiatives and community programs can play a huge role in fostering understanding and solidarity.
I agree. Education and awareness are essential. But we also have to ensure that policies are implemented effectively. Many laws exist, but enforcement is inconsistent. We need measurable outcomes, accountability mechanisms, and transparent reporting to build trust in institutions.
Jasmine, some critics argue that protests can sometimes lead to polarization. How would you respond to that?
I understand that concern, Sarah, but dialogue and activism go hand in hand. While protests may create discomfort, they bring issues into the public eye. The key is to channel that energy into productive conversations, community engagement, and legislative advocacy. Ignoring the protests would be far more harmful than temporary tension.
Absolutely. Michael, as we close, what message would you give to viewers about supporting racial justice?
I would say, get informed, engage respectfully, and support policies and initiatives that promote equity. Change takes time, but consistent collective effort can reshape society for the better.
Thank you both. This conversation reminds us that achieving racial justice requires awareness, action, and commitment from all of us.
You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu.
Rosa Parks is widely recognized as a pivotal figure in the civil rights movement, and her role is often described as a catalyst for change in the fight against racial segregation in the United States. On December 1, 1955, in Montgomery, Alabama, Parks refused to give up her seat to a white passenger on a segregated bus. This act of defiance was not merely a spontaneous decision. It reflected her long-standing commitment to social justice and equality. Many people view her action as a symbol of courage and resistance, inspiring ordinary citizens to challenge systemic discrimination. Some argue that Rosa Parks's role is sometimes overstated, suggesting that the civil rights movement was already building momentum through other activists and organizations. However, her refusal to move from her seat triggered the Montgomery bus boycott, a critical event that lasted over a year and brought national attention to the struggle for civil rights. Supporters of Parks emphasize that her involvement exemplifies how a single courageous action can mobilize communities and provoke significant social change. Furthermore, Parks's participation in civil rights activism extended beyond that one incident. She was actively involved with the NAACP, worked to investigate cases of racial injustice, and continued advocating for equality throughout her life. This broader perspective shows that her influence was not limited to a single protest, but was part of a lifelong dedication to challenging racial inequality. Those who study social movements often point out that figures like Rosa Parks help humanize the struggle for justice. Her story resonates across generations, demonstrating that the fight for civil rights involves both collective action and personal bravery. For listeners, understanding Parks' role highlights the importance of individual initiative within a broader social movement, illustrating how courage, persistence, and moral conviction can inspire transformative change.
Visit celpipmocktest.com for authentic Celpip mock tests and see the difference in your performance.